Hey guys, it's Rebecca for Mama Bear Custom Wreaths, and welcome to my channel, Mama Bear Custom Wreaths, where I make wreaths and all things home decor, and I show you how I do it all. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you have not done so you guys don't miss any of my tutorials, and you can also hit that bell so you get notified whenever I post a new tutorial. So summertime's not quite here, but it's starting to feel like it here in Texas, so I decided let's start doing our patriotic wreaths already. So we're gonna make a giant extra large patriotic wreath, and we're gonna use a 14-inch wreath base. So this 14-inch wreath base has 1, 2, 3, 4 bars all the way across. So we're gonna number them from the inside out. We're gonna count bar 1, bar 2, bar 3, and bar 4. And then we also have 6 cross bars that give us 6 sections on our wreath. And if you turn it like this, you see that it kind of looks like a bundt cake. This is gonna be the top part. Our little hill is the top of our wreath. This is where all of our goodies are gonna go on. And if you flip that over, it looks like a U. That is the back of our wreath, okay? So when you hear me give directions, this is the back, the part that's a U, and this is the top, okay? So we're gonna put that down, and we're gonna get a chenille stem. We're going to just fold it in half and make it a V. And then we're gonna get our wreath, and we're gonna go to bars 1 and 2, right in the center between the 2 crossbars, and we're gonna go from the bottom out through the top, and then we're gonna tie it tightly, not too tightly. I have broken these before, so don't be too tight, but tight enough to where it's on there securely. So this is what we have, and I'm gonna turn it inwards, but we have a chenille stem around bars 1 and 2. Now we're gonna get another chenille stem. I'm gonna fold that in half, make a V, and holding my wreath base back up. This is our center, these are our crossbars. I'm just gonna go on either side here of the center one and place it around bars 3 and 4. So from the bottom through the top, not right next to the crossbar, but a little bit further away, maybe 2 fingers, we are going to tie another chenille stem, nice and tight. We're gonna point this one up. So we have one going down and one going up, okay? Now we're gonna go on this side of the center chenille stem by this crossbar and do the same exact thing. Maybe about 2 fingers, finger and a half away, we're gonna get a chenille stem, make it a V, and then we're gonna go through bars 3 and 4, from the bottom to the top, and we're gonna wrap, and we're gonna tightly tie our chenille stems. So now we have, oh, look, a reindeer. Now we have this funny looking thing where we have our chenille stem in the center, and then we have one on this side and one on this side. Okay, so we're gonna do that to all of the sections on our wreath, and I'll be right back. And here's our wreath base with 18 chenille stems on it. It looks like a flattened out, maybe a spider or a crab. So we're gonna put this aside. We do have 18 chenille stems here. So we are going to get our deco mesh, and I'm gonna be using these 4 colors for this project. It's gonna be blue, red, white, and then one that's red, white, and blue. So we are going to measure our deco mesh to 30 inches. So I am using a self-healing cutting mat, and these things are just awesome. If you start getting addicted to these wreaths and making them, you should totally invest in one of these tables, because I'm gonna also as I'm talking, I'm gonna lay my deco mesh one on top of the other so I can cut them all at once to cut down on the time. But if you guys start making more wreaths and you get addicted to them, like I am, like I'm a wreath addict. Hi, I'm Rebecca, and I'm a wreath addict. It's worth getting one of these. They're not too pricey. I do have links to my Amazon page where you can get them. You can cut on them. You can drop hot glue. You can paint on them. You can measure on them. All of it, it protects your furniture, the floor, wherever it is that you're crafting. So they are very useful. Okay, so I'm laying all of my deco mesh on top of each other, like I said, just to make it a little quicker to cut, because I'm gonna need them to all be the same length. So because I have a cutting mat, I can use my rotary cutters. These are great. You will see, you can just go voila, and it's all cut. Now, if you don't have one of these, you can use a yardstick and scissors. It's the same. This is just a little bit quicker. So because I did that, I now have 4 pieces of deco mesh. So I'm gonna keep doing this, and I'm actually going to cut 18 pieces of 30-inch deco mesh. Okay, so I'm gonna take our deco mesh again, lay it out the same way that I did. So the last time we cut 30 inches, this time we're gonna cut 14 inches. Okay, so we're going to cut, we're going to cut 18 pieces that are 14 inches long. Okay, and then we'll be back. We're going to get our deco mesh. Okay, this is our 30-inch piece. And I'm gonna put something heavy on one of the edges, okay? And I'm gonna scoot it forward, so you can't see it anymore, but it's just scooted forward. And then I'm gonna take, you can't see because of my shirt, I'm gonna take the edge of my deco mesh and I'm going to just roll it in so that I can make like a little burrito, a little cigar telescope. And then I'm gonna take a chip clip, or this is a clothespin, and just put it right in the middle, just put in the middle. And then I'm just gonna switch sides. I'm gonna put that side now where this other side was, put something heavy there, and I'm gonna do the same thing and make another little burrito. Okay, and then I'm gonna put a chip clip. Okay, so it ends up looking like a little scroll with two little burritos or telescopes on either end. Now, I just want to explain why we do this, or why I do this method, because the edge of your deco mesh, especially this side right here, you see it's already doing it. I don't know if you can tell. It frays. So you can see it fraying on your door, or with time it frays more. If you roll it in the way we're doing and that edge starts fraying, it's inside this little burrito, so you can't see it as much. It's not noticeable, so it makes the wreath last a little bit longer. And I want my clients' wreath to last as long as it can. So that's why I do this method. You can also just, you'll see the next step, you can do just the next step, but I think this step protects your wreath better. Okay, so we're gonna put something heavy here again, and then I'm gonna go like this and walk this far side to me. So I'm gonna get on me and I'm gonna walk that far side to me with my fingers till they meet. Then I'm gonna take off that chip clip, and I have this cute little butterfly. Okay, and then I'm gonna put a chip clip one more time on this. Okay, just put it right here to the side. And now I am going to get a any one of the 14 inches. So this is the shorter piece, remember? How shiny that is. So we're gonna get one of these, and this one, we are just going to roll it all the way. So I'm gonna start my little roll, and I'm gonna probably do something heavy still. So I'm gonna tuck the inside so that you can't tell when it frays, and I'm gonna roll it, roll it, roll it. Not too tightly, but kind of like a little bit smaller, or maybe the size of a paper towel roll, okay? And the edge of that, we're going to make sure is at the bottom, and you'll see what I mean. So I'm gonna take my 30-inch little butterfly, I'm gonna take the chip clip off, and that bottom part where the edge of the deco mesh is, I'm gonna put that at the bottom, and then I'm going to place it over our butterfly. So I've added a little tube to our butterfly. You guys see that? Now I'm gonna get my wreath base again, and then it's gonna go this way, okay? So I'm gonna open up one of the inside wreaths, and at the halfway point, I'm gonna tie my chenille stem around both pieces of deco mesh, and I'm just gonna wrap it once, twice. I'm not gonna wrap it that tightly because I'm gonna be opening this up a little bit later and using it again. So this is what that's gonna look like. That's the first one. And we're gonna keep moving this because my table's not that big. Okay, so here we have another 30-inch piece of deco mesh. And we're gonna do that same thing again, just roll it in and then take a chip clip. Okay, we have that side. And then we're gonna roll the other side in. And if you don't like feeling the table underneath your nails, it feels weird, I can show you a different way you can do it. Still do the first step with the two little, what are they called? Telescopes. And then just walk them together like this. You can do that too. Same thing, okay? So we got the same little butterfly. We're gonna put that chip clip on top of that. And I think we should do a red. Here's our 14-inch deco mesh, and we're gonna roll in the edges and then just keep rolling. And then we're gonna open up our 30-inch, take the chip clip off, and then put it right on top. We're gonna get our wreath base, and we're just gonna put that right next to it. So it looks like this. So I'm gonna do that to all 6 of the inner ones, and I'll be back. So this is the inside of our wreath. It looks like someone with a lot of missing teeth, like a jack-o'-lantern. We're gonna fill this up, don't worry. So I got another little butterfly, and since the inside is done, and this is why I had you point the chenille stems, this way to make it easier to find them once we put these on. There is a method to my madness. So then we're gonna put this one right here on the outside chenille stem. And there you go. So we're gonna do that all the way around, and then we'll be back. So this is our wreath base. Look at how full, look how big that is. Look at it next to me. It's a pretty big wreath base. Okay, let's make it even bigger. So I did already pre-cut, because I think we all know how to cut ribbon, to 15 inches. But what I did want to show you is, so you see it's a flat edge there. So I'm not using regular scissors. I do use ribbon scissors, and they're just fabric scissors. I have links to these, are not expensive, but these are a lot sharper, and they give you a clean surgical cut on your ribbon, which helps with the fraying, and it just makes your wreath, your bows, look so much nicer. So get yourself a pair of these scissors and don't use it for anything except fabric or ribbon. Okay, so we're gonna take our 15-inch piece of ribbon, and we're gonna fold it in half like a burrito. I'm sorry, like a taco. Okay. And then this side here is the two sides, and this here is the crease. Okay. So we have the two edges here and the crease on this side. So we're gonna take our scissor and we're gonna cut downward towards the crease. We're always cutting down towards the crease so that we get, can you guys see? A cute little V like that. That's a dovetail, a fishtail, whatever animal tail. And that kind of, it's an option that you can use on your wreaths. So make a little taco, fold it in half. These are the edges. This is the crease, whichever way you feel comfortable doing, as long as you're cutting down towards the crease. Because if you cut it the other way, you'll get a spear. So we have that. So I'm gonna get our, I have 6 different ribbons and I'm pairing them together. So I cut them all 15 inches and I dovetailed all of them. And I'm gonna get 2 pieces of ribbon, okay? 2 15-inch pieces. I am going to put them right on top of each other. And then I'm gonna fold it in half. You can fold it forward or backwards, doesn't matter, as long as it's folded in half. And then I'm gonna just pinch. I'm gonna fold it first. That center part and make a V. Okay, just like we did our Chanel stem, but we gotta do that with our ribbon. And then remember I told you not to tighten up our Chanel stems too much with our deco mesh. It's because we're gonna open it and we're gonna put these ribbons on top. We're just gonna open up the Chanel stem and then just put our ribbon right on top. And then we close it. Okay, and then once it's inside, if you guys can see that, it's on the outer edge. Then we can do this now, we can do this later. We're just gonna kind of separate our ribbons, just kind of open them apart so it looks like that. So I chose this plaid with these stars for this side. Okay, and then we're going to do our next set of ribbon. I'm going to use this white with this American flag. I'm gonna put that flag, I'm gonna line up our V's in the center on each side as close as I can. It's not gonna be perfect. Okay, we're gonna fold it in half. Okay, so it's folded in half. And then we're just going to pinch and we're gonna make our little V. So I'm gonna open up the next Chanel stem and I'm going to place my ribbon there. Now I can tighten it because now I'm not gonna be adding anything else on top of this. And I'm gonna go ahead and separate it now. Separate the ribbon now. And so it looks like that. And let me show you the sets of ribbons that I got. I got this plaid one, it's really cute. This one's really nice. It's a little sparkly, the stars. And I got this red fireworks, isn't that cute? I'm gonna match that one. I haven't shown you that one yet. And then I'm gonna match that with this blue. And then I'm doing this white with our American flag. And all of my ribbons are wired. And the reason why is because wired ribbon, you can mold it a little bit better and it makes your wreath look better. If you don't have wired ribbon, your ribbons, your bows will look flat. So I'm gonna do all of the Chanel stems. I'm gonna put my little sets and alternate them all the way around the outside and the inside, and then I'll be back once I'm done. And this is our wreath base. Look at how giant this thing is. Look how full it is. It's gorgeous. Okay, so let's add our sign. All right, guys, so this adorable little sign says red, white, and blessed. I want to put that right here, so I'm going to use these cable mounts to attach our sign. And they're great, except for peeling them. They're very hard. It's hard for me to peel them. So we're just going to put a cable mount on the back here. And then we're going to put one on the bottom. If I can ever peel this off. Okay. And then we'll put the other one right here. And I have my hot glue gun. I'm going to use my cordless full-size Ryobi gun today, glue gun today. And while that's heating up, I am going to get 2 chenille stems, and then I'm going to kind of make an X. You guys see that? Make an X. And then just twist them into each other so that I can make one long one. Okay. We're going to do that again. So I have 2 long pieces of the deco mesh, and we're going to turn this around. I'm going to, since my glue gun's not heated up yet, I'm just going to stick my chenille stem to the back of it, like so, and then I'm just going to tie it. So it looks like that. And I'm going to do that one more time through the bottom. That's a great thing about these cable mounts, is they have these little holes that you can just stick your chenille stem through. So it looks like that. And I'm going to get my hot glue gun, and I'm just going to glue around the cable mount just to secure it in place a little more. I don't know where this wreath will end up finding its home, but if it's someplace that gets really hot summers, I don't want, I just want a little bit more reinforcement so that the little adhesive on the back of that cable mount doesn't detach. So I'm gonna let this dry and I'll be right back. So it's pretty dry now, and we are going to attach our sign. Let's see. I think it would look great right here. So I'm just gonna take this long chenille stem, poke it through my deco mesh, and then I'm going to flip it around. This is a great time to use a different color chenille stem if you'd like, but I'm just gonna wrap it around where it's not too tight. It's tight, but not too tight. See if we like it there. I do. And then I'm going to take the other piece of chenille stem from the top one and find a spot between the deco mesh and tie that. Let's see. So far. Okay, so we like that. Now let's turn off the glue gun and let's make a cute bow, a cute patriotic bow right here, shall we? So let's get our ribbon scissors again. We're gonna get a zip tie, and we're gonna get our 2 red Chanel stems again, even though I said we should get a different color. Actually, no, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna finally do it. I'm gonna get a different color. Hold on, I'll be right back. I just bought these last night, so we're gonna use these. Let's use green. No, let's use pink. Let's use pink. Okay, so we're going to use 2 of them together to make one long one. Okay, so I'm gonna put that aside. These 2 red ones over here. I don't know where I put my zip ties. Let's get another one. Oh, here's my zip tie. Get my zip tie and get this ready. I'm gonna get my ribbon scissors. And let's start with our first ribbon. I think I'm gonna start off with the red one. So, see how long do I want my tails? Kind of want a long bow. I do. Okay, so this is about how long I want them. My tails, choosing my trusty little healing mat, self-healing mat, measures 12-inch tails. So this is my tail. This is 12 inches. I am going to pinch right here at the end of the 12 inches because this will be a tail. This will be the beginning of a loop. And then, let's see how big I want my loop to be. Okay, I want my loop to be about this big. On this one, it ends up being about 14 inches. Okay, so this is my tail. This is the beginning of my loop. This is the other end. Let me roll the edges in. This is the other end of my loop. I'm going to join them together. Remember, like tying a shoelace? We're gonna join them together. It's gonna look like a little jellyfish, squid. So we have our little loop. Now, we are going to take our ribbon and we're going, from this pinch point, we're going to flip it. We're always gonna keep that same spot pinched, okay? I flipped my ribbon. So if you see this now, the bottom part of the ribbon, not the colorful pretty part, but the bottom part is now on this side. So if I wanna make a loop the same size, I'm gonna go to the 14-inch mark, pinch that end, and then I'm gonna bring that one and I'm gonna pinch it right there. Okay, so that's what my bow looks like so far. We're gonna do some more loops. So if we left it like this, this would be our bow, but we're gonna make some more loops. So we're gonna flip it to the back side of our ribbon. We're going to measure our 14 inches right here. And then we're gonna go from the back to the front, join it right here at the same center that we're having for the other 2 loops. And there's our 3rd loop. So then I'm gonna flip our ribbon. Let me flip our ribbon. 14 inches, we're gonna go 14 inches again. Pinch that and go from the back to the front. And then we're going to turn our tail. So that's our bow. And now we're going to cut. Oops. Put this away. But now we have 4 loops for our bow. And I do want these to be at the bottom. Okay. So we can keep going. We could put this in a chip clip. You can use our trusty little bow dabber. I'm gonna use our bow dabber. Links in the description. and just have the Bodabra hold our ribbon for us as we add more. And we can fix the edges, make sure that they're all facing down. Okay, they are. Put that aside. The next ribbon I'm going to use is the white one. So we're going to do 12 inches again for our tail. And we're going to do, instead of 14 inches, we're going to do 12 inches. Okay? So I pinched my tail, the beginning of the loop, and I pinched the end of the loop, join them together in matrimony. And we have our little squid. And then we're going to turn it, flip it, okay? And then we're gonna measure 12 inches again, pinch the 12 inches, and we're gonna go from the back to the front, okay? And now we're gonna flip it, flip it. I'm gonna change my thumb because my thumbs hurt. We're gonna do 12 inches again. Okay, we're gonna go from the back to the front, join it right here in the front, just move my thumb so I can hold that part as well, that loop as well. That thumb's gonna hold everything. That's why my thumb hurts, because this is not the first wreath I've made today. Made quite a few bows today. So my thumb is sore. Okay, and now we're gonna measure 12 inches again. We're gonna go from the back to the front, and then we're going to cut our tail. And that's our second bow. And so with our Bodabra, it's just holding it for us. We're just gonna put it right in there. Okay. Now we're gonna go for our next ribbon. And that's this blue one. And we're gonna measure our tails, 12 inches again, 12 inches. And then we're going to do, let's do 11 inches of this one, okay? And pinch this end, join it together, okay? And then we're going to do 11 inches again. Pinch that one again. This one we don't need to turn and flip because it's the same on both sides. So the other ones we had to do that because they were different on either side. So there was a back and the front. These are identical on both sides, so we don't have to flip it. Okay, beginning of the loop, end of the loop, flip that. Thumb is holding that. Okay, and then we're gonna do 11 inches again. Pinch that, and then move that to the center. And that's our blue bow. We're gonna put that one, oops, we're gonna cut our tail. Let's cut our tail. I'm not measuring the other tail because it doesn't matter, really. You can cut them shorter if you'd like, as long as it's longer than the other one. Sometimes I kind of like the tails to be a little uneven anyway. Okay, so we can put that aside. And then we're gonna get our American ribbon, our American flag. And we're gonna measure that tail again, 12 inches, pinch the end, okay? And then our loop is going to be, let's do 9 inches on this one, okay? Pinch the end of the loop, join it together. Okay. This one, we join. Now we're gonna flip it, and we're gonna measure the 9 inches again, pinch from the back to the front. So that you can see the blue all together, okay? So I'm actually going to cut it right there because I want the flag to be facing the right way. I don't want it upside down, okay? So that's 2 loops. That's all we need for that one. Now we're gonna take our Chanel stem and our zip tie, fix our ribbon. I'm just gonna pull it out, and we're gonna put our Chanel stem, this is the back of my bow, the back here, hold my thumb, always my thumb's holding everything. Get my Chanel stem. I am going to put the Chanel stem right here, wrap it around, and then I'm gonna put it through here. Make sure you hear that noise. If not, it's just sliding and it's not gonna stick. If you don't hear that like zipping type noise. Okay, and then I'm gonna kind of just make sure my ribbon is where I want it to be. It's not gonna be perfect right now, and it's okay. I just want to make sure that the edges of my ribbon are not the wrong way. They're not, okay. Zip tie it, super tight, super tight. And then I'm gonna use my actual wire cutters. I don't use my scissors, even my regular scissors, because this zip tie will dull those as well. All right, so now that we have our bow, let's put our bow on our wreath. Look how pretty it came out. Isn't that pretty? How pretty patriotic this bow is. See that? Okay, so let's put this bow right about here. So the same thing like we did to our sign. Make sure it's on top of an actual mesh thing. It will give it a little bit more volume if it is, because you don't want your bow squished. Like inside of a little, on top of a little mesh bundle. So we're just gonna tighten it. Now the bow you want to tighten tighter than your sign, because you don't want it to droop. So I'm just gonna tie it the same way from the back, tighten it, tighten it, tighten it. I have my dryer running right next door to me. Let me know in the comment box if you can hear it, because I have not, I forgot to turn it off right now, but I don't do my laundry while I'm making a video because I think you guys can hear it. Okay, so this looks so cute so far, but there's a little spot right here that I feel is kind of just, I don't know, it's a hole. So I think it looks just very lonely. So let's add a small ribbon there. So I say we get our blue ribbon and our American flag ribbons, about 10 inches, okay? So we're gonna do a 10-inch tail, and it's gonna be a different loop, a different bow. Comes to be about 11 inches, so about 5.5-inch loops for one loop. Let's do another loop. About that same length. just making 2 loops. They don't have to be exactly the same for this kind of bow. This is just kind of a fill in the spots bow. Okay, so we have that. Okay, we're gonna cut that. And then let's get our flag. Just pinch the tail, eyeball it, pinch our tail. I want it right here. I'm gonna make a loop about the same length as this one. Just gonna put it in front. I know I'm not really explaining this one because this one's a little bit different, the bow that I'm making, and I should make a tutorial just on this one. But if I explain step by step on this one, it would take up a big chunk of our video, and I don't wanna do that. So let me know if you want me to show you how to make these kind of bows, but okay. And I'm gonna bring it up this way so that the bows, the ribbon, the stars are on the same, are facing the same way, okay? So I'm gonna add that, measure that. Now we're gonna cut that. So it's almost like just making 2 bows the same way, but instead of putting them like a regular bow this way, we're going to put our tails the opposite way, upside down. And we're gonna get a chenille stem, tight around the center, tighten it, tighten that, and then our tails are gonna be up, okay? It's crazy, I know. Hope I'm not confusing you. I'm not teaching you really how to do this bow in this video. The point was to teach you how to do this in this video, but I saw an empty spot. This is a more advanced technique, and let me know if you want me to teach you how to do this, because I can make a tutorial just on how to do these. Okay, so I'm going to tie this into my wreath base, just directly around the bar, like we've done everything else, and then I'm going to tie that around our base, and then we have, yeah, that's good, I did that, and then we have our ribbons facing up, and they're a little long, so it's okay, we'll just cut them, or rather than be long than short. But I just wanted to fill this space up because it just looked really empty to me. I didn't like that. So I'll show you what I've done. I've just filled that spot right here that was empty before. And then I'm going to just dovetail the ribbon tails. I attach that to this bow to my wreath. All right, guys, so this is our patriotic red, white, and blessed extra large wreath that we just made. Super fun, super large, super big. If you guys enjoyed this tutorial, do me a huge favor, leave me a thumbs up, subscribe, don't forget to hit that bell button, and let me know where you are watching me from. I am in Texas. Also, check me out on all my social media. I am on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, and of course here on YouTube. I'll see you guys on the next tutorial. And don't forget to check out the description box. I do have links to a lot of what I use on here so that you too can have the same tools. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next tutorial. Bye.